Good day, everyone. My name is Winter. Welcome back to some professional Starcraft 2. A special match here. A clan war. Well, more like a gladiatorial battle. We have BeastyQT. You've probably seen him, watched him, admired him from near or far. A top-level player, formerly professional and still very close. He is up against the entirety of Team eXon. Here are the rules. We're playing on fun maps, and that mostly means maps people remember that probably weren't very good. BeastyQT has 2 lives up against the entirety of Team eXon. Now, we're only picking out the highlight matches. And Team eXon has players from mid-grandmaster up to, well, you see on the other side. So BeastyQT, acknowledging his, well, I mean, he's European. Acknowledging his level of skill. That's the challenge. He has 2 lives up against the 7 members of Team eXon. So, whoever comes out on top. But I think the ringer for the team, the artist formerly known as puCK and still sometimes representing Team eXon and also with an interesting clan tag, it's Nina. Probably the biggest challenge for Beastie throughout all of these matches on Team eXon. And of course, BeastyQT from the Cutie Club. Check him out. We're on Metropolis. Some of you might remember, the only reason I think any of you would remember Metropolis is because of Game 6 of of Squirtle versus MVP in the GSL Finals. One of the most epic turnarounds in GSL history. In Wings of Liberty, when Mothership Vortex was still in the game and it was used on battle cruisers. If I remember, I'll try to find a clip of that. And you'll be like, Winter, I can't see what's going on. And that's because GSL was in approximately 240p at the time, and that's the best quality you're going to get. But that is what I assume has brought this map back. A blast from the past. That may be the singular most epic moment. Like, there's the that one time Scarlet went Bane Mines versus Bomber, remember? There's MVP versus Squirtle, the Archon Toilet. There's MMA killing his own command center, and then Idra GGing. I'm missing a few, but it's definitely in the top 10, top 5, definitely top 5 as well. Especially from Wings of Liberty. Well, since I've gone full tastosis for GSL thus far, we're 3.5 minutes in the game, things have happened, let's try to keep track. Beastie going for the 1-1-1, found 1 probe kill, but was pretty annoying with a gas block as well as a Reaper early on. Viking and Cyclone are the choices. What do we have here? Robotics Facility. Of course, we're not playing on Wings of Liberty. This is the current Legacy of the Void patch. Observer already sniped off. Oh yeah, remember 4-player maps, by the way? I didn't even point that out. This is a 4-player map. I don't believe that Nina could have spawned at close positions, but I don't know for sure. But they are close by air positions. 4-player maps have kind of worked their way out of the map pool mostly because it makes life near impossible for Protoss. You might be like, well, good. And Protoss players would argue that Blizzard has been saying the same thing for years. Just, especially against Zerg, but just generally, not being able to reliably scout your opponent in a timely manner is a major deficit, especially for Protoss, but also for the other races. Robo, Twilight, this is about as safe as it's gonna get. Oh yeah, there are island bases covered by rocks you gotta clear out. If we see a 45-minute battlecruiser versus void ray game, well then, we're reenacting history. The mothership no longer has vortex, because as fun as it was, that ability was... It was not ideal for counterplay. Let us put it that way. Gravitic Drive. Nina, now going all the way back to Wings of Liberty, one of the highlights for Nina is Colossus drop, just Warp Prism Micro. Nina was Warp Prism Microing before it was cool, okay? Well before the Warp Prism had a pickup range of across the street, when you had to be right on top of that unit, when investing a Colossus in a drop was unthinkable. It's like, well, they're never going to expect it. And speaking of a Colossus, of course it's less risky now, even though Cyclones and Vikings exist. The pickup range definitely provides a lot more sustainability and survivability to something like that. And it will be needed. Oh, Cyclones spot out the army. One chasing down a stalker. There's going to need to be a lot of pickup micro here. More units warped in. How many gates? Just 3. Those 2 tanks are very scary to this army. Even though there's not combat. Oh, no, 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 no! Well, that. Jimmy! God damn it! How many times? See, this is why Nina lost the prism. We're professionals! And this is the danger of close air positions. The drop's just now in the main. The threat at the front, Colossi, especially without the prism, don't really have the mobility to move back and forth. Immediately the drops come back in. Stalker spotted. Beastie! God, sorry. I don't know what's up with me today. Just shoot in that direction. Come on. Gotta be a little salty about that one. Couple more medevacs on the way. And already the medevacs are back in the main. Oh, this is so much less scary if it was just one drop. But 2 medevacs of Marines do devastating damage. It looked, well, Beastie with the amazing stutter step, but Nina gets both. The Marines are still, it doesn't matter if they have 1 HP, their guns still fire at the same speed. Still 4 kills. It's drop o'clock though. Nina has to rotate to defend. Beastie's all over the place. There's so much airspace. Oh yeah, the rocks to the 3rd! And if you don't take the rocks down, there's a chance you're caught between a rock and a hard place, trying to get all the way over to your 3rd base. They will finally be opened up. This observer spots the drops towards the main. Another scan at the 3rd. The units are moving out of position, leaving an opportunity. Drop in the main. Widowmine's burrow. Char plots on top. And this should trigger the secondary drop into the 3rd base. I'm surprised it's not moving yet. Target's down 1 stalker. Another drop brought in. Scan, making sure it's safe. Here we go. Nina has to come back to the 3rd to defend. Back and forth like a Laffy Taffy over here. This isn't a real Phoenix, but it's sending bad vibes to those medevacs right now. 6 probes go down. Beastie's at 69 workers, which is a real nice spot against a Protoss player who doesn't have mules. The upgrades, +1 for both sides. Armor on the way for both sides. Blink is the choice. Nina, well known for anything you can micro, we're gonna do it. An army that requires 14 control groups when there are only 10, and 418, maybe 1 or 2 more APM in order to manage correctly. Instead of getting more simple, we're going to get more complicated, which is what makes Nina's games so exciting. And also, is a big reason why she loses more often than is necessary. But that's why we love it, right? that's why this is a highlight. I don't know who wins. Beasty, of course, a very strong player, but this is still a bio army, and Nina's building up a strong supply. It's not a huge gap here, and the map is actually huge, by the way. Oh, this drop just gets straight cleaned up. Beasty, he's really focused on the Quadra drop in the main. The Stalker's body blocking out for the Colossus. It's huge. The Zealot's blocking as well. The Colossus stands tall. Charge Lot's warped in. And with the cleanup at the third, I think... Oh, and more Charge Lots on the other side. Of course, these rot. Oh, god damn it. The good old days. Suddenly, a lot of the momentum is gone from Beast. Even the threat of drops is what keeps Nina at home. Like, a Protoss player has to defend. If there's a threat of 4 medevacs coming into your main, you gotta have units there. There's no... Recall's not gonna save you. But when there's no other threat, you can commit those units and still have enough army on the field to get things done, as well as that Zealot counterattack. The supply is nearly even now. Drop in the main, a shadow of what it once was. A bruised medevac where once there were 4 full ones. Let's look at the upgrades. 1-1 done. Nina without the 2-2. +2 attack about to finish for Beasty. He's still in a very comfortable place economically. Like, having 4 bases and attacking across the map with ground units. Good luck with that. Oh no. Oh, it's happening. It's happening! Island bases. Well, we wanted some nostalgia. There's a non-zero chance this doesn't get scouted the entire game. Because who's looking for it? Nowadays, technically there's an island base on Purity and Industry, but it's super obvious and easily contested. But on Metropolis, one of the island bases is in another state. Another country if you're European. Effectively the same thing. It's completely out of the way, especially if you don't have Stargate units. Yeah, maybe a Warp Prism or some medevacs, but still. And remember, this map was in the pool before Liberators existed. Oh my god, that's a lot of... A dozen! An even dozen. Not all of them are here. Advanced Ballistics is complete. The Venn diagram of freedom is coalescing. And there... This bioarmy... Oh, Nidus is good for it! Well, these storms have to be huge. Oh my god. No, how much energy? Oh, the storm just in time! The storm's softening up the army while the base train begins! The probes will evacuate, but is there anywhere to go? The Liberators are coming back home. Beasty, a little bit of uncharacteristic indecision. The bio army's going to try to chunk through, but it's already been softened up, and there's still a recall on the table. Another disruptor shot through the center. Oh, the disruptors are going to die, but the Liberators, they come back. Oh, I don't know. Just walk it out, walk it out. Strongly suggested that these guys leave and go somewhere else, but the Liberators, they can't move very quickly. Is there a storm? There's a storm! And the charge lots are starting to chip through. Meanwhile, Orbital down! The charge lots are holding. What happened to the Templar? The Templar are gone. That's a problem. Army has to recall back. We're going to have to survey the damage. It really... Wait, the whole army? Not the whole army. These 2 Colossi are distracted by this very juicy add-on. So, when the smoke clears, the supplies, worker counts, and upgrades are nearly even. Now, this is a good trade. Oh, traded right back. And suddenly, no, never mind! Getting one more parting... Oh, got that add-on. But the barracks, That Colossus tempted by the forbidden fruit. And Liberators with +2 ship weapons do decent damage against air. And Colossi are so tall. Unfortunately, they do not have their headbutt upgrade. Soon, Blizzard, please. Oh, the Liberators, they siege up, but Nina picks a fight. Somehow this is still near even. There are command centers all over the place. There are more CCs than a mediocre corporate email chain for Beastie, but the worker count isn't that high, and the unit composition isn't... Well, the Liberators were mildly reset. There's still 8 Liberators. How many have gone down? 7. Nina, well-known... The Venn Diascan, even. Nina, well-known for refusing... Like what on paper... Okay, we get it, Beastie. How many orbitals are there? 4 orbitals. So this isn't... there are not unlimited scans. Not yet. There's a planetary and a bunch of depots on the island. This is going to be mined out by the time... Wait! I didn't finish that sentence. Oh, this is getting weird. The medevacs spotted the prism. They're coming to reinforce the island base. We're fighting a proxy war soon, I'm expecting. Oh, God. Deja vu. It's happening again! Oh, it's been years! We're heading towards a half-map Stargate versus Starport. Is this a historical reenactment? Medevac dropping the main. Quick recall reaction. The Blinks gets what? Looking for 2. Ah! Yes! Snaps a second. It's been years. Liberators make it even harder to break. But of course, Tempest and Liberators did not exist in Wings of Liberty. We'll have to see. The medevac boost cooldown / speed upgrade is on the way. Meanwhile, this is the classic Prism power move from Nina. This is what am I watching? Okay. So so this is happening. Oh. Oh. Normal island base interaction. Ooh, what is this? Italian cuisine and Valentino's? Ah, property value of the island so high. So this is the advanced drop tactics. Clearing the beachhead with ranged Liberators. Moving up a little closer. Trying to create some free space for the drop. Stalkers blink in, not giving up the initiative. Meanwhile, a couple drops are heading to the island as well. The beachhead has been established. Are there enough here? Is there a recall? Recall's still on cooldown. There shouldn't be too many units. Great storm. Second one off the mark. Big drop onto the island. Things escalate. Oh, the pylon depowered, but the... Oh, he depowered the cannons. The prism was there, but it wasn't going to make the difference. The cannons are pushovers compared to upgraded Marine Marauder. Meanwhile, he's been thrown off the beaches. But another Liberator sieges up. Next to no HP. One Stalker shot away, but still has to move. Nina really struggling to establish any more bases. Yes, there are 2 more on this side, but we're quickly getting to the more contested center and the other island. Beastie will be allowed to mine most of this island, it seems. Tempest on the way. Ship weapons level 3. Double medevac drop. There's just so much space between them. It's almost a no man's land in the center. A demilitarized zone, because if you spend the time to walk across the map, By the time you get there, 2 or 3 bases are getting attacked. That goes for both sides. Oh, Prism! Was not targeted, thankfully. The CCPM continues. Oh, the feedback storm combo knocks the medevac out of the sky. But wait, there's more. Oh, big blink! Observer! Real men drill deep. SCV propaganda at its finest. Oh, it's happening. Battle Cruiser! Meanwhile, Beastie has 6 orbitals, 4 planetaries, 3 command centers with 2 more in production. So we're going to be at 15 CCs of one variety or another. Meanwhile, the Tempest, they're going to be stranded. They'll never get off this island. Now target the medevacs! With no survival. You guys. Boys. Boys. Oh no. The planetary holding its ground. The Liberator's trying to find an angle. That SCV tried its best. How did this drop make it so far back into the Stargate command? Stalkers will be warped in, but 4 upgraded Marauders. Vikings on the ground. Scans looking for anything outside the island. Stalkers really give him the feedback. Boom, boom. There he goes. Pop, pop. Why are there Stalkers in the main? A battle cruiser chases them away. Beautiful. Classic battle cruiser with 3-1 upgrades and counting. Meanwhile, air upgrades coming in for Nina. Going to be behind on that. Beastie's only at 151 supply. He's got plenty of command centers, but where are his units? He's been investing in battle cruisers, but Nina's pushing through. While you can have all the money in the world, but it won't fight your war for you. You need boots on the ground, well, or at least in the air. Meanwhile, it burns! It burns! The mules were dropped to save it. I don't think it would have mattered in the long run. Another planetary. The battlecruiser's Yamato is online. First volley fires. Doesn't kill the Tempest, but it brings him quite low. Nina taking the inner center bases. Oh, the Blink Stalker's blunking through. Nina's not done. Big storms hit all the cruisers. Tries to jump away. One goes down. Tempest, 5 more shots. Big storms. They're going through turbulent weather right now. And while they can survive it, the question is, can they survive the Tempest? There's 7 Tempests now. Against 4 battle cruisers, 3 more in production. Not much of a ground army. The boys are pulled. Storm thrown on them. Storm for days, nights, and days again. More Yamatos right on top of everything. More storms. Stalkers. Beastie struggling. Can he stabilize in time? Nina with 174 Zealots warped in. These bases are forfeit. He's going to be stuck to the islands. The islands are the last bastion of BeastyQT. And Tempest will have something to say about that. Another planetary, but it's just a bump in the road. The command centers are evacuating, but the order came too late. Maybe 1 or 2 will survive. Oh, the blink to chase orbitals. It's looking rough for Beastie. And the Tempest, of course, can chase them. The battlecruisers are looking for something, anything. Beastie's trying. Oh, don't lead them to us. Oh no. Scan in the main. Recall is, of course, off cooldown. Scan on the army. No! Will it burn? 1 goes down. Just a couple out, like, at this point, with those upgrades. Meanwhile, the battlecruisers are targeting the Cyber Core, going for the air attack upgrades. Nina's going for the base trade. Recall on just the Tempest. Yamato, and then jump. Oh, he's got to jump. Oh, he's microing it. Another couple Yamatos. Knocks down another Tempest. Suddenly, these battlecruisers are a force to be reckoned with. Beasty, he's running. Well, if he can bring all his battlecruisers together. Oh, but more Tempest show up to the party. Without Yamato cannon, it's a real struggle. Jumps one away. Oh, the battlecruisers are closing the distance. The Vikings with the flank! But the island has been overrun. Beasty's running out of minerals. Nina has pushed through the defenses to victory. Why did we do this game first? In the one of the closest reenactments we could probably get to MVP versus Squirtle, and probably higher level, to be honest. Nina wins in 25 minutes. Beasty couldn't get his battlecruisers online quite quick enough. But we have some more highlights. We're not done. You thought this was going to be a normal 20 to 30 minute video like a normal YouTuber. No. I say like that for some reason. Like and subscribe. And now, a new challenger approaches. Beasty in the top right. And in the bottom left, the Canadian Zerg. He is Canadian, right? BioS. Top Grandmaster. Part of this Team eXon versus Beasty show match. Well, team war against a team of one. I haven't seen him play lately. He definitely is willing, BioIce that is, definitely willing to play alternative builds. I wouldn't put him on like a no regret level of alternative builds or designated pressures or filthy dirty cheeses or whatever you call it. But he's not afraid to throw in the quick Nidus, the early pool, which he's not doing here, but I'm excited to see if we have something out of the box. Alright, Beasty. Change colors with everyone. I believe he's playing just Terran, which is his... Well, as we all know, the best race in StarCraft 2, and only for intelligent individuals, as well as the race that Beasty was professional with. Apparently, throughout some of the matches, he did play Protoss, though. To relax, I'm sure. Looks like a 1-1-1 thus far. By the way, it's nothing out of the ordinary. The Ovies will eventually get there to confirm this. And now, will the first Reaper kill one Ling, or will it kill two? Or none? Find out more in about 15 seconds. Oh, he goes for it, the grenade, and maybe a little preemptive. Just taking some pot shots. He's a big fan of the camera Reaper. Getting that information, not worrying too much about killing one or two Lings, focusing on the build. Oh, but he gets into the main. The queen. I don't know if intentionally hidden, but oh, he's going for the juiciest of all. He gets a drone. No, never two. Oh, the body block. What a play. He's looking for a third. No, that's unacceptable. No, 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 no. Are you, no way. No. Okay, he's going to the corner. He's getting his healing drugs. Zergling speed is still pretty far out. Slides around the back. Oh, down he goes. But 2 drones. I'd say that's a valuable Reaper, and also plenty of information there. Seeing how many drones there were, giving away there's now going to be some early pressures. And there's no roach warren, nothing like that. So, while the Reaper goes down, his certainty he's not about to get all in goes up. Is that a medevac? With no armory. This is straight up Hellion drop. And he goes, the real meta move is just going straight across the map, and the Overlord won't see it. All the Overlords coming in from all your fancy angles. No. But BioWise has prepared. He's got Overlords on the edge of his base. Makes me wonder if he's been Hellion dropped before. I mean, assume so. Are there Lynx back at home? Hellions are coming in. Well, the Zerglings get into the natural, but the Hellions get into the main, and those things are way more dangerous. 4 drones thus far. Also Hellions at the natural getting incidental damage. 7 drones. 11 drones plus the natural. Oh, the multitasking here. Sure, a couple Lynx got into the natural of Beastie, but the amount of damage he dealt out. And he got out. He got out with the medevac and 4 Hellions. The total losses, 2 Hellions. And a couple SCVs on the other side. Resounding victory. He's coming back in. A couple bruised Hellions, and obviously the medevac is under threat. Oh, watch out, run down! Though there was a Liberator somewhere, and SCVs are rallying across the map. Okay, things are getting a little disjointed. I believe the Liberator sieged up this base, and it got effectively nothing. So the Liberator goes down. SCVs were rallied across the map. The real damages of war don't show up immediately. They show up later, after everybody is rattled and stressed and making rash decisions, like rallying their command centers across the map accidentally. That is the real stress of a Zergling run-by. Layer on the way. BioWise has recovered, and recovered is maybe a little strong. What is this? Is there an armory? He just loads up a tank, 3 Hellions, and a bunch of Marines. Beastie subscribing to that Diamond League mindset of, well, if I can't drop it, I'm not bringing it across the map. But in this case, this is quite a ragtag band of meddling Terrans here. A tank involved as well? Like, oh my god, what? What is this? What is it? What is
Who does that?
What a positioning on that tank. The third base under so much fire. He's got stim done. He has to kill the tank. Yeah, there's almost no progress made on the Marines. The Lynx have to come back around. He's trying to hope that Beastie doesn't target. He kind of doesn't. But those minerals, oh my god. He killed the third. Even though he lost everything else, the third, this is kind of awkward. BioWise does have this base in the center. Still though, what a weird, like, variety pack drop there. He made it work. I don't know if it was the original intent or if that's his standard build or one of his standard builds, but it worked. That positioning between the minerals is pretty disgusting, especially if you don't already have speed banes. Oh no! You can't leave the door open! Bad people will come in! That seemed like it was going to be worse than it was. They're not... The Zerg aren't sending their best. They're sending their lings. They're sending their banelings! They're killing your SCV! Oh, what?
What a save!
He saves a medevac of SCVs as well. No baneling speed on the way, but more Zerglings in the natural. They're everywhere. Suddenly, the damage is really starting to mount here for Beastie. 19, 20 SCVs in the last minute. Wait, no, that's not the one. No, that's not the... What's the one for the income graph? There's an income graph button. I just don't know what it is. That's not it either. All right. That's still not it. I need to look at those hotkeys again. Another triple drop sent out. I can no longer criticize the drop style because it is definitely working for him. It's not F10. Control I. No, that's not what I... It's a special one on the WCS overlay that I forget. I forget if you can do it even if it's not, if it's a replay. So. I wanted to try to be fancy, but Jimmy didn't tell me the damn hotkeys. Oh, there you go. Numpad 1. Thank you. Anyways. Oh, that's very useful. So you see here, BioIce. Beastie's income... Well, wait, what is this? Income advantage. Wow. Drones are good. Army size. Well, I'm going to be playing with that way too much now. With all things said, BioIce finds himself at a nice worker count. He's got baneling speed. He's got 2-2. Beastie is way off 2-2. That seems to be what went by the wayside during all this aggression. Is he didn't get his armory particularly quick, and his upgrades. Being down and up, like when you have 2-2 or when you have an upgrade advantage, Marine Tank can go straight up against Lingbane, maybe even on creep. But if they have an upgrade advantage, especially a 2 upgrade advantage, as soon as the banelings roll in, you gotta run. You gotta get out. Or, well, I mean, you got 2 options. You don't have to get out. That's your choice. That will be the last choice you make for those Marines, but... Tutu is finishing up. Hive on the way for BioIce, on pace to be able to get his upgrades, or maybe, like, he's getting a Spire, maybe looking at Broodlords here. Another drop coming in. He loves his drops, the Laffy Taffy Terran, stretching them apart. I don't think he'd appreciate being called the Laffy Taffy Terran, but it's a pretty great name, I think. A bunch of drones vulnerable in the main. He's targeting. Looking to get back in the medevac. Slick pickup. Another one coming in. Oh, how does he... What? How are you even here? Oh. The pickups are a little disjointed, but he eventually smooths it out. Meanwhile, it's not like he needed to do a lot of damage. He just needs to keep BioIce busy. Because he suddenly has... Well, he's only at 55 workers. I guess he hasn't been building very... He's not building any SCVs right now. He's really been focused on punching out that army supply. BioIce still going to maintain an income advantage, but Beastie, you can tell where it pays off. (3-3) already started. BioIce has a Hive done splitting off a massive Zergling counterattack, but the attack of Beastie is knocking on his front door. 2 bases exposed. Upgrades are even. Army supplies way in favor of Beastie. There's a lot of banelings. Counterattack coming through. Will he raise the depot? No. We'll keep tabs on that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Things just got way more complicated for BeastyQT. Baneling starting to connect at the front. He's whittling down the attack. There's really not that much bio left. 15 SCVs, 16 and counting. Most of them in the main and the natural are taken down. but the Bio Army is still scary. There's a great fortified position here, complete with Widow Mines, tanks, and Liberators. About everything you could ever want to hold a defensive position, but the Lings are ransacking the main. They're eviscerating the natural. The third base is mostly untouched, but BeastyQT is down to just 39 workers. He strikes back by killing a base. Looks like a factory in the add-ons. The production is gutted. Lings and Banes need to deal with this. The engineering bays are still intact for now. A very important part. A Bio Army comes together and finally cleans up the main, whereas Bio Ice is still working on cleaning up his third. It's still a struggle. The Lings and Banes, he really loves medevacs. The Widow Mines! Oh, it's up. We'll just have to see what happens. Corruptor's dealing with the Liberators. The Bio drops out. It was hidden inside the medevacs. The only survivors are those Bio units. The more fortified tanks and Liberators are cleared out. But Bio Ice, he does have 65 workers, but his army supply is down at 36, and he has no hive tech, but the upgrade's on the way. Beastie's engineering bays were left intact. And that means 3-3 is closing in. Bio Ice is in a very tough spot. It can be, unless he gets a few great mainline connections. Now, there aren't as many Liberators in tanks. He needs the mainline connections. Well, okay for now. The Corruptors can help clear out the... He can't lose this base. He can't. He will. Beastie doing so much with so little. +3 weapons just finished up. +3 armor, seconds behind. Bio Ice with 2 Gs. Beastie leans on his Terran forces. And with it, finds a hard-fought victory. It looked like Bio Ice was pretty off balance, even from the first Hellion drop. Beastie, like, imagine how one-sided that would look if the depots are raised. But there's so much going on. It's very hard to be like, well, just raise your depots. Well, maybe you're microing multiple drops on the other side of the map. Team captain. Oh, they're throwing that. Now it's time for the team captain. Our final highlight match in this eXon versus BeastyQT clan war. The captain, it is E.T. Ponehome, who has decided he doesn't like moving his overlords. Grandmaster Zerg. Now, Beastie is obviously competent in TVZ, but what does ET have in store for us? I like to take edit it out. Edit it out. Edit it out. Okay. I'd like to take this time to thank Drickit and Team eXon and Beastie for sending me games that I can then post and monetize. And with that in mind, like and subscribe and ring all of the bells and all of that. Hopefully you enjoyed this format. I don't know if there's a place you can catch all of them. If you really want, I can cast more. There were much more than this. But these are, if we had to pick the highlights, because not everybody has 16 hours a day to watch Starcraft. But thank you for that, and thank you guys for watching. I hope he goes Battlecruiser. Beastie has his side on YouTube, apparently already. But now we can see the whole story. And also Beastie changing his in-game color most games. Yes, I know Beastie has a YouTube channel, believe it or not. Thank you guys. Wait, he has a YouTube channel? Like on the internet? Two gases. Not out of the ordinary, but usually indicative of some sort of starport tech. Get those rocks. Get those rocks. Will the Reaper kill a Ling? 2 drones? Oh, almost got a Ling. Crazy stuff. What is this? What is this? 2-base Spire? What is this? Where's the Roach Warren? ET, make the Roach Warren. Oh, he did a gasless build. I wasn't paying any attention. Well, I asked what he had in store for us, and I still don't know. It could be like, just like +1 Roach. Or Mutt. Oh, is he gonna go for it? The creep tumor, but he bounced himself out of the way. The Lings are here to... Come on, Mr. Reaper. Come up and play, yay! Waiting for his move. He's really trying to hide exactly this. Lair and 2 Evo chambers on the way. Oh, you're supposed to... Oh! Brenda jams herself in that gap. It looks like the Reaper tried its hand at getting up to the high ground. It did not pass. The Roach Warren is completing. The lair as well. Close behind. Viking for Beastie. Mount the most middle of the road possible build here. We got some Hellions. Now he's got a Liberator. Gonna get a Siege tank. I mean, I guess it could be a Cyclone, but it's not gonna be a Cyclone, so. ET, a little supply block, but this is just straight up roaches. I think Beastie's reacting to this. He saw the Roach Horn, he saw the wall. Has he seen the lair? He saw the lair morphing. Oh, what a PB! He parts the Zerglings, gets in, sees the gases. He's looking for a Spire, I'm sure. Whoa! That's bad news bears right there for ET that so much got scouted. It kind of confirms, yeah, it's gonna be roaches. Focus on those tanks for Beastie. He just, against a mass roach play, the brick, the best option is usually just make sure they can't kill you. Because the closer you get to 200 supply, your army's just straight up better. Especially if you go mech. But roaches do not have a long-term... You can max, you can make a bunch of them. ET! Oh, a Liberator. A whole bunch of kills. 4 kills to start before finally being contested. Roach is going to work on the rocks. ET really struggling in that income, as you can see. Beastie dropped a few mules there. Overseer spots it is indeed going to be mech, but also losing. Oh, uh-oh. The Queen, run! It might be just enough. Finally, Liberator taken out. The roaches are chilling. Beastie does kind of have to stay in his base. I don't know if he's going to try to break, but right now is do not come out here. Oh, is he actually going to... Well, the other tanks aren't sieged, which... Wait a second. He killed the only sieged tank. He saw the other ones, I think. So, he's not going to make much more progress than that, but any tanks that get killed are worth it. And is... So, Burrow move roaches. The only thing he's missing is Burrow. Roaches and Ravagers. Oh, there we go. Roaches and Ravagers still threatening the wall. 2-2 upgrades already on the way for ET. Really focusing, like Beastie against BioEyes, on that unit composition over having a huge economy. Whole bunch of Hellions. He pokes out. The contain is pretty strong here. 1-1 starts. Couple more factories. Beastie's spiraling up his production. Yeah, when you see this, I don't know what you think, but probably mutas. Like, I'd be thinking mutas if I saw 2 gases at a third that had like 5 drones at it. There's some cyclone. Well, there's 1 cyclone and mag field accelerator on the way. Still good against roaches as well. That's double damage with that lock onto armor. It just shreds them. The contain a little leakier than he would have liked. ET just gonna get weird. Burrow move roaches with Nidus. So, the orbital command trying to dodge corrosive bile, almost succeeding. ET saw those Hellions go out, right? Because the Hellions are just gonna kill all his drones. So, now if you look closely, you'll see they have the little fancy horns on them. Those are for burrow. Oh, he uses the burrow! He uses the burrow to save the drones!
Who does that?
What a play! He actually did it! Burrow used defensively! Meanwhile, burrow move roaches tried to come into the third. It looks like they were slammed with little success. Okay, approximately all of the upgrades are now finishing. So we're entering the next phase of the game with 13 swarm hosts and a Nidus. This is gonna get... Oh, wow. That is a bold Nidus to kick things off. Fortune favors the bold, though, I've heard. So, if that gets spotted, Beastie it has so much time to put up his defenses. It was spotted, but it was too late. The Hell Muffins are already out. They pop their locusts. The Flappy Boys. They drop down, gonna try to target a tank, getting very little progress here. He tried to target the tanks. He forces an unsiege, so very little success with that first wave of hosts. Roaches and Ravagers on the way. He's got to deal with the Hell Clones here, which are pretty good against Swarm Hosts as well, as long as you find the right timing. That seems fair. The Cyclones just rip through a hatchery in like 4 seconds. Meanwhile, Flappy Boy's into the main! Roach Ravager waiting for its opportunity to pounce. Suddenly, add-ons getting taken out. Another command center canceled. Factory itself under fire. On fire. Now dead. Swarm hosts escape into the Nidus, but here comes some Roaches and Ravagers. Beastie keeps getting caught off guard. He's off balance. He's got to do something to take back the initiative. Well, he did kill the 4th. He did kill the 4th. That is big. That's a very bold... ET just keeps slapping Nidus Worms right up in his face. Income's about the same for now, but if Beastie gets a 4th, that's going to spiral out of control for ET. He's got to get the damage while he can. The Swarm host pops out, but now he has network connectivity issues. Meanwhile, things are getting a little disjointed, but Beastie, well, Lock-on's a good skill to have. I think Beastie wins this fight, yeah, but it's pretty costly, and now suddenly the Nidus is done! These roaches somehow survived. So, what happened? Something happened on the other side that killed drones. I'm not sure what was it, another Liberator? 2 Liberators have died. Maybe it was another Liberator. I'm not sure. Anyway, 6 drones go down. But a few roaches. Dun 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 dun. That wasn't supposed to be the Nidus. He scans. Well, that wasn't hard to figure out. Meanwhile, Beastie starting to get some trauma from those burrowed units in general. They'd already popped out, but can never be too careful. Dropping the host down on top. He gets a near surround of the planetary, and it's gone in like 2 seconds. The DPS on the Flappy Boys is just way too strong. Both players obliterating the other's fourth base in a handful of seconds. Oh, this is not a concave of tanks and cyclones. This goes poorly, right? Berserk, this isn't good. This is bad. Am I wrong about this? I don't. Why is he not losing everything? The Hell Muffins are back. They're already off cooldown. Oh, be careful. The Liberators can soften him up a little bit, I guess. He's not really... Well, I guess he's using the Roach Ravager as cover for the Locusts. He's throwing him down. The low economy Zerg, but high efficiency, despite everything. Beastie's crumbling. He's down to 100 supply. He does not have much time. Okay, we get it. Unite us. Oh, where do you go? Where do you run? Double kill. The income's now getting pretty desperate for BeastyQT, as well as the army value. I don't know. He's going for speed Banshees. That's his last best hope. Especially, there's no Spire. There's no Hydralisk then. There's no spot Banshee defense. But he's just now building his first Banshees. Whoa. Oh, those Roaches took a bad path here. A lot of splash damage. Every second counts. If he can get like 6 Banshees with speed and cloak. Okay, yeah, we got options here because there's no real counter right now. He just has to run from it. Easily kill the Swarm Host, the Roaches, and the Nidus Networks. And the Nidus Worms, rather. He spots one. Easy lock-ons. Down it goes. But another one. Gets the Overload as well. Roaches and Ravagers jump the 4th with the Hell Clones out of position. Beastie is really banking on the Banshees. The Banshees have to save him. And he has to be careful. Like, even the Corrosive Bile is dangerous. There's no reason ET can't move in once he sees the Cyclones on the other side. This is a desperate base trade, but there are... oh my... The tanks are gone! Where are the Banshees? He's got to get... Oh, he has to make sure that Corrosive Bile doesn't hit. That's everything. 2 bases are taken out. The Banshees actually driving back all the Roaches. Surprising, like, maybe just eat the damage. He wants to go back and deal with the Hellcones. Beastie pulled this out of his hat at the last possible second. Right as the Roaches and Ravagers were in... Oh, the Queens! But wait, there's no... Oh, there go the Queens! Oh, wait a second. More Banshees. He pops the Locust. There's nowhere to run! I mean, unless... Well, underground, I guess, works. He could burrow the Swarm Hose, but that just means the Banshees would kill them even easier with a scan. Suddenly... Okay, the Banshees... He really had nothing to deal with the Banshees. The Banshees are really just... Oh, the Queens on a move command to kill their own creep tumor! But at the same time, Corrosive Bile actually kills Banshees. Roaches in the 4th! Both players... the bases are barely standing. Oh, Hell Clones. Oh, he scans. He goes underground. He realizes he scanned. The efficiency from Beastie is getting really high. What is the units lost? The Banshees easily out micro a Spore Crawler. Suddenly ET is on 1 mining base and Beastie's on 1.5. So this will change very quickly. So everybody chill. Beastie has, like, he has the units, he has the upgrades. ET has lost most of his advantage, which was just an overwhelming army supply. The Banshees have figured out where there is and isn't. Oh, get back in! Get back in! By process of elimination, he found the Nidus. A few Liberators were a great choice. He was already building them before he revealed the Banshees. Oh, casual battle cruiser. Yeah, this is not good for ET. The army values have drawn a lot closer. Swarm Host will go over the top of those Liberators, but the Banshees are in the main! Killing everything, pillaging, burning. Locusts on the ground. The Roaches and Ravagers trying to push through. There are only a couple tanks. Corrosive Bile takes out one Liberator. He might be able to get the base. Meanwhile, Banshees scrambling back. 13 SCVs go down. One more Liberator. Still finding a lot of kills. The Roach Hydra pretty okay against the Cyclones. Banshee's looking for the Hive. What is there to defend? What is there to save you? The Hive itself is under attack. The Hydras are on the other side of the map. ET is crumbling. He taps out with more supply, but no hope. The Banshees saved the day when all looked lost. There was nothing left. There was no anti-air. There's one queen. That was all of the anti-air. But at the right time, at the right moment, Beastie found it.
It's about time.
Thank you to Dricket and Team eXon. Thank you to Beastie for those amazing games. Hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Check them out. Description, which you can unlock by hitting like and subscribe and ringing the bell and typing Kappa in the chat. Hopefully you watch some more. Good luck. Have fun. And see you next time.